Okay, so tonight's Shit Show Showdown was an absolute success. Alliteration aside, we had action, we had violence, we had ass kicking, we had ponytails and mullets. I mean, what more could we ask for? Am I right?
Yeah. We could mohawks.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah,
That would have been good.
Here, there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jean-Claude with the double mohawk.
What's up, guys? You're listening to Cinema Shat, the podcast brought to you every Thursday, on the Thursday, sometimes on Friday.
The podcast that'll prod ya. Where Cinema Shat.
Cinema Shat. I'm James, and I'm joined in the studio with
John.
And I'm Jash with an A.
yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Van Damme vs. Seagal, it's Cinema Shat Showdown.
What are you doing? That was fucking terrible.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Terrible. Josh, you can't play an air
like
guitar.
me.
Yes, I
You
can.
really like me.
What's up, everybody listening in? Thanks for joining us. This is Cinema Shat, the podcast, like I said, brought to you every Thursday, where we watch, where we talk about Shit Show Showdown. Two movies go head to head, and then we talk about the shit show that is our fucking lives.
What day does it come out?
Thursday.
Sorry, you just said it, and I didn't retain the information.
I don't mean to keep
What
repeating
day?
it.
What
I
day is
honestly don't mean to keep repeating it, but nonetheless. It's the day before Friday.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, what did you guys think
Now,
of
what's Friday?
Friday?
That's the character in Robinson Crusoe
Is it?
that gets blasted by a
Is
musket.
is that the character that was written and created by Rebecca Black?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's the Friday girl. It's
She made a
Friday.
terrible Friday song.
Oh, that chick.
Bad Lip
yeah.
Reading did a great parody of it, though.
I'll have to check that
She's
out
talking
later.
The
about,
song
like,
itself is a parody.
Yeah, no. Oh, dude, the thing behind that is actually really fascinating itself.
Yeah,
The
it's
guy, like the black dude that's in that song that does a little rap part,
I have no idea.
he owns a fucking, again, see the Bad Lip Reading, because I've watched that so many more fucking times, so many more times, because, I mean, honestly, I've watched Rebecca Black's Friday so many times, girl. No, anyways, so the black dude in that owns a company where he essentially gets rich parents to pay him to make a song and write the lyrics
yeah.
We've talked about this.
for the girls. And Rebecca Black is just the only one of the few that blew up with that. So occasionally it works out because he knows how to write a pop song,
Right.
and he's always really creepy in the videos too.
Well, she blew up because it's so bad.
Yeah, because it's so
Yeah,
bad. I mean, it was an ironic. It was a
Yeah.
meme. It blew up as a joke, but it still blew up and made her a lot of money, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And made him a lot of money because it made his studio a lot of money because there were parents out there that were like didn't understand
Yeah.
that it was a joke and were like, oh my god,
There's a-
we'll get this. This will launch Becky into stardom. I don't want to be a star. You're gonna be a fucking star.
Yeah.
You'll be a fucking star.
No, there's a lot more songs
Yeah.
from them now, which is great.
Yeah, like, but he makes like that's his whole business
Shtick.
plan is
Yeah.
like, I will make the song, I'll have your daughter or son be the main star or whatever gender, and we're in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Be the main star of the video.
Culturally
I'm gonna be in it.
appropriate.
I'm gonna be in it because fuck you. I'm in all my videos,
Uh-huh.
and I'll film it because he knows how to do all of the top.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he can make the song, he can make the video.
He knows
like,
how
he's
to
got a
push start
He's
on
got
a
a brilliant
camcorder.
fucking. He's got a brilliant fucking. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
at least like a professional video. It's nothing new or fancy or different, but it's at least competent.
Yeah.
And like he's
I have to
he's
agree
making
with
like fucking like 30 fucking grand, 50 grand off of each parent doing this.
Yeah, he's mining money from rich, stupid parents.
Do you
It's
think
pretty
he'll
funny.
make a movie one day? He'll just get the balls.
Yeah.
Like doll.
He probably honestly
Steven
with the
Seagal
success
balls.
with the success of Rebecca Black's Friday, and then I think he had another one that blew up that was like 2 years ago. Like he's probably just paid at this point. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
even need to do this anymore.
Yeah,
he probably
yeah.
still does for the hustle, but he's paid.
Yeah.
True dad.
Well, on a side note, fuck him. Moving on to our target, which was John. It was your pick, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
Hard Target. Ooh,
Yeah.
classic
Okay.
Van Damme kicking shit.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
and it was a John Woo film, so there was
John Woo-
action
that's right.
out the woo-zoo.
The Wuzu.
The woo zoo.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, John, God damn it, I even said in my head, don't say the other name. John, please give us a quick rundown,
All right.
of Hard Target.
So what's going on is it plays off of the Most Dangerous Game, which is a fantastic novel, where the most dangerous game being man. So the rich people go out and they hunt, poor people, and they have them. So we all thought it was going to be on an island. Doesn't really take place on an island. Takes place in the city in Louisiana.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Takes most of it takes place in New Orleans. And so it starts out with them killing one of them, because they always get like homeless veterans. It's not just random homeless people. They find homeless veterans and they bring them, make sure they don't have any family connections. Yeah. It starts off with them killing one of them, and this is the father of the female protagonist.
Mm-hmm. The one that seeks. Yeah. Oop! I hit the mic. One that seeks Van Damme.
Yes. So she goes down to New Orleans to figure out what happened, and she runs into Van Damme because she gets into some trouble because she shows that she has $9.
Yeah.
In a diner.
Yeah. And she had a couple of Washingtons.
So these vagabonds are just like, oh, she's rich. Let's rob her.
Yeah.
And Van Damme, obviously being Van Damme, steps in and does Van Damme things where he just
kicks the shit out of
everybody.
Now, when we say kicks the shit out of them, he kicks them.
Literally kicks.
I mean, his heel is a weapon of mass destruction.
He kicked the shit out of that dude. Like, he just beat him up. No, he kicks him.
Yeah. He knocks him all the fuck out.
Like he kicks him, and he keeps kicking him in the
high
face.
High kick,
and he
low
kicks
kick,
him in the
high
face
kick.
again, yeah.
No,
it's pretty much like he only plays Cammy on Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That makes sense. He's just hitting the kick button over.
Yeah,
she's the character that kicks.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, one of the characters
I
that
haven't
kick.
played that.
She
primarily.
Well,
as fighters, they all
the majority
kick.
of the majority of her kick.
That Y button.
The majority of her kick is kick based though.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so she gets down to New Orleans. She meets Jean-Claude Van Damme,
who is
not Cajun.
Former special forces, but he is working as I think like an offshoreman or just as a general ship hand.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic.
Yeah. And so he needs $217
exactly
because that's what he owes in union fees. So initially he turns her down when she asks his help, but then he's like, I kind of need it now, so I'll do it for $217.
Exactly
$217.
I'll do it for $217. Or however the fuck he talks. I wish I could do a Jean-Claude voice. Yeah. I wish I could do that for y'all.
Yeah.
Not the people listening. Cut your ears off.
Yeah.
Just
or
you two
earmuffs.
Yeah.
Okay, you can take them off now.
Once you've cut your ears off, we will transport into your mind telepathically.
Telepathy.
We're gonna be
telepathy.
We'll telepathy. We'll tapala.
No, that was correct.
We'll cook you up some tilapia and eat your brain.
Tilapia on your brain.
Okay, so she hires him.
Yeah, she hires him, and they start getting in a little too deep there.
Yeah, detective-wise.
Detective-wise.
He's not a detective.
No.
He's a fisherman.
Yeah, he's a fisherman. He's just he's ex-special forces.
How fucking stupid. Like, why don't you be a PI?
It's just because he's ex-special
really,
forces.
you want to do this so that you can go fish? You can go fish. That's what you want to do?
That's exactly what he wants to do.
Anyway, you were summing up the plot.
Yeah, so... Yeah, he decides to help her, and they start getting in too deep, and he's friends with a police officer, and so they start like trying to find the person, and they run into this like the dude that has been bringing the homeless people to the rich people kind of thing.
Yeah, Lance Henrik. No, never mind. I'm sorry, I was side thought.
So he interrogates him, and the bad guy's like second in command, the main henchman, is there, and it's like, oh, you got company over, and he ends up torturing him after Van Damme leaves, and because the girl's snooping around, he's like, I thought you said that you didn't have any family, and this entangles the girl and thus Van Damme.
Yeah,
right.
And then he's got to fight the whole.
And then once Van Damme kills one of them, they're all ready after him. So it's just a matter of being chased for this whole time, and then it actually gets really good, and he runs into Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. His uncle, who actually sounds fucking Cajun.
Yeah, actually Cajun, because Wilford Brimley can actually fucking act.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Wilford Brimley is out acting everybody, you got problems.
Hey, I didn't say he was a phenomenal actor.
No, you're right.
But
though.
he can actually
You're
Comparatively.
correct. Yeah.
Comparatively.
Comparatively. Look at everyone else in this movie.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
No, seriously, look at them.
Look at him.
Stare them into the
Look at
eyes.
them.
Well, I gotta bring up photos
the
of
rest
each
was
one of
pretty,
them.
was pretty just run of the mill cliche at the end, where it's just like he gets chased, he fights everybody, eventually fights the bad guys. But it was cool as hell while he did it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the fight scenes. Let's get we
right
touched on the
into it.
one about the $9. We can skip past that and let's get to the one where he beats the shit out, like he kicks the motorcyclist in the face. Like a motorcycle's driving by and he kicks that motherfucker in the face.
Yeah. What's what sets up that action scene? I can't
That's,
remember what was happening.
Okay, so we've got
that dude's
Lance.
trying to leave.
That's correct. Yeah. He owns the pawn shop or whatever. He's in connection somehow to the thing, and he's trying to leave town. And then we have Lance Henriksen, who's the main bad guy, and then we have his right hand man. Yeah, second in command is the Mummy. So it's the bad guy from the Mummy. So that's all I called him, the Mummy.
I think his name was Van Cleef, and I only remember
Van
that.
Cleef.
I only
No,
remember
that's
that
absolutely
because I'm a giant nerd who played entirely too much World of Warcraft as a kid. to be fair, that was like the first fucking dungeon, but still, shut up.
Okay. Stop nerding out, John. God. Okay, so we have Van Cleef. That's correct. So the actor that plays the Mummy, he plays the second in command, and he comes to the guy in the street, and he has the shotgun. Remember, he like busts the window out with the butt of the shotgun, and then slow-mo flips the shotgun into his hand so that it's aimed at the neck of the guy trying to leave. And then they have a 1-2 conversation, and then he blasts his brains all over the windshield.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's great.
Yeah. John Woo can film. Okay, there's a lot of slow-mo in this, especially in this fight scene and then the climactic one. But there was a lot of slow-mo throughout. But that's what sets up this action scene, where then everybody rolls into town and tries to kill Van Damme, and he either kicks them to death or shoots them to death. So have your pick.
Yeah, it's like John Woo, if you're going to shoot most of your stuff in slow-mo, he should have had like a slow-mo camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that a thing back then? In the early 90s?
Oh, you're talking about like when Jean-Claude's
With
just
a
kind of
higher-
like
just a
walking
higher
away
frame rate.
and like
Basi-
looks over
yeah.
his shoulder.
Like every slow-mo shot is 24 frames a second, just like video, like every
What?
single
I
one.
thought- I the
think it was
ones-
a little bit faster than 24, but because 24 just looks like you see in a lot of like British TV when they do slow mo. I forget why, but it's like a stylistic choice for why they do it. But it looks very choppy and like
Very
almost
choppy,
like
yeah.
This
you see
wasn't
the
quite as-
remnants of a previous
Yes,
frame, and then you see the next one
exactly.
fading in over it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
fading in between
that's-
frames.
This
Essentially,
one didn't really do a fade, so it was probably shot at like 60, but it's not like
Yeah, I would say
Great
the
scene.
Wow, you
the
think
purposeful.
they shot it like, at least
the-
double?
Yeah, the
I'd
purposeful
say,
ones.
or maybe I feel like, because I don't know cameras back then, but
Right, me
it,
neither,
It pretty
yeah.
much the standards now, like it jumps right from 24 to 60.
Oh,
Or
shit.
24 to 29.97.
Yeah, because you got 30.
Yeah.
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 And then it jumps pretty much to 60. Like
29.97.
I've not heard of anything outside of maybe like extreme art films being
Yeah.
shot in anything that's
Yeah,
like
they didn't have a
45.
Phantom
We shot it in
back
45 frames per second. Like
Right.
John Woo shot hard target on the Phantom. That is a fact. Everybody knows it. In case you guys listening in, the Phantom is a camera that is capable of shooting 1,000,000 frames a second. Don't believe me? Look it up.
Yeah, and just to further elaborate on this camera that is able to shoot 1,000,000 frames per second, it also lives in an opera,
That is,
and it
yeah.
plays a pipe organ.
Yes,
it was horribly
and
disfigured.
it's horribly
No,
disfigured.
John is correct. The camera lives in a opera.
Yeah, the camera is a sentient being that lives in an opera house.
Yeah, it's got a mask on.
It has a mask.
Half of its face.
Yes,
Because it has a face.
Yes,
Even though it's an inanimate object.
exactly.
Yep.
It tragically monologues, and then it plays the organ.
Does everyone get it?
Do you get it?
The camera of the opera. Okay.
What? I was referencing Finding Nemo.
Oh, okay. You threw me for a
So
loop.
there's So we've got one action scene we've talked about where he kicks the guy in the face. He also has infinite bullets.
Do you remember the scene where he kicks the guy in the face?
Well, I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Well, the guy's riding
the
the
whole movie.
motorcycle, and then he runs down. The motorcycle is shooting at him, but hitting cars, while Jean-Claude Van Damme is running on the other side of those cars, and then runs to the back of a car, one of the vehicles, and then is able to kick a man in the face.
Yeah.
It was a stunt double, but because we could see it.
James, yes.
But it was so awesome because I'd never seen somebody kick a motorcyclist in the face while they're driving at them.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. It was
And
great.
He had a helmet on.
Yeah, he had a helmet on.
Safety first.
Yeah,
Of
safety
course.
first.
Yeah.
Safety first when shooting a weapon at another human being on a motorcycle.
Make sure
Right.
you're wearing your
Safety
helmet. Safety
first.
Come on, guy. Yeah.
Okay, so we've touched on the lots of slow-mo and stuff, and we did the front or the shotgun blast in slow-mo and that whole action scene, but the pivotal action scene at the very end when they have a shootout at this Mardi Gras warehouse that stores all the Mardi Gras floats. So papier-mâché is array.
Right.
It is everywhere. And at one point, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I know I'm skipping about in this fight scene, but
No worries.
Jean-Claude jumps over a flaming table, right? There's like flaming debris. All right, it's just him
Flips.
and Lance Henriksen, the bad guy.
Flips over a flaming table.
Yes, flips over a flaming table and proceeds to then shoot Lance Henriksen with the shotgun. It was fucking awesome. I mean, we talk about kicking somebody in the face while on a motorcycle. I've never seen a man front flip over fire, land up standing, and then shoot another man with the shotgun.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
he
it
didn't
was
like
cool.
blow him away, shoot him though.
Yeah, no, he took a huge blast. He went like 10 yards,
Yeah.
minimum 10 yards.
Yeah, but
That's-
he got back up.
and then got back up,
That was
proceeded to get back up.
confusing.
Yeah.
They don't explain that. He
Then
doesn't
he
have
drops a
any
grenade
wounds.
down his trousers.
He does drop a grenade down his trousers. You know who I thought had a well, let's touch on that because I want to touch on the Mummy. That guy, Van Cleef. His death was way better. Way better.
Yeah,
Remember
was,
the
yeah.
sliding?
He slides
we'll
under
get to
the
we'll get there. We'll get there.
All right,
Okay, so I want to touch on the grenade since you brought that up. Van Damme. Well, you say it. You say it. Van Damme. Yada yada.
Yeah, Van Damme shoves a grenade down Lance.
You're telling it wrong. I'm kidding.
Okay, sorry. Chance Bordeaux
That is
shoves a grenade down Lance's trousers, and then he pulls it
Oh
out,
my fucking
or he kicks
God.
him after he shoves it down his trousers. He kicks him, and then Lance pulls it out of his trousers, unscrews it, and it's like, oh, thank God. But then it like sparks and goes off.
Yeah, the fuse in the grenade starts
Instead
to
of
ignite.
throwing it, like you said,
Like a rational human
like,
being.
you know,
I-
he decides to dismantle it, which would take, 10 times longer.
yeah,
Yeah, so-
absolutely.
Pretty smart. That's all
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
he's
It's a
an
smart
evil
thing.
genius, Josh.
Right, yeah.
What did he say? Was it like, oh? Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
was. He was like,
something
Yeah,
because
like-
the sparks on the grenade. Is that how grenades work?
I don't know.
I mean, this is
93.
93, so grenades were different then. Let's be
Yeah,
It was
real.
a different time.
It was a different time.
Pre 9/11.
That's true. Pre 9/11. Jesus.
Pre 9/11.
Oh wow. Wow.
Post
Let's talk about that. Let's talk seriously about 9/11. No, I'm kidding. Why are we all laughing? I said seriously.
Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good.
Building 7.
Okay. So that's how Lance Henriksen dies. He gets a grenade to the crotch, has enough time to grab it out, dismantle it, and then it still blow up regardless. I would have just thrown it. That being said, the Mummy had the cooler death. The guy that plays the Mummy, Van Cleef.
Can't even remember how he died.
Okay, so he, if I remember correctly, Van Cleef,
It starts
the
with
Mummy, he throws a grenade at Jean-Claude
Start the scene before that though, because it starts with them back to back through a very
Oh
thin piece
yes.
of
Okay.
wall.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right,
Okay. So
yeah.
there is a very artistically done shot where I'd say so. Josh just like laughed. I never know what you think is serious film work. You're like, You're like, there will
Anyway,
be blood.
you're saying there's an artistic shot.
Oh my
right?
God, I'm so sorry. Yes, there's an artistic shot. Sorry, he's grabbing me by the throat. There's an artistic shot, and the frame is cut in half by the wall, dividing the Van Cleef and Van Damme, and they're talking shit to one another, loading their guns, and it looks really fucking cool. And then they when their guns are ready and they're like, hey, let's have a pissing contest, essentially. They run towards each other, they run facing one another on the wall, which is actually made of glass. The point at which they're standing is not glass. So they run around to where they're facing one another through the glass, and they are just unloading bullets. Bang, bang, gun noises. So they're shooting at pow, pow, kapow, got you. No, you didn't.
I have infinity armor.
I have infinity armor.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, I have infinity stopping bullets.
Well, I have the power to have all the powers of any I want.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I have the power to move you. Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy. So they're shooting at each other through glass, bang, 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 and then like there's shit blowing up too at the same time. Somehow, like all the bullets are causing everything to explode. Glass is exploding with fireworks somehow, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It looks fucking awesome. There's doves everywhere. They're just flapping their fucking pigeons in this scene. Previously it was doves.
Scene,
yeah, all the scenes leading up to this were doves, and then they were like, "Hey, you know what's even better than a dove? A filthy fucking pigeon." So like pigeons are flying.
John Woo probably wanted to use doves, and they were like, "This is a filthy warehouse. Doves
Yeah.
wouldn't live in here."
Yeah, just pigeons.
Yeah.
And so they get some pigeons. Okay, so they're shooting at each one another, and then as Van Damme proceeds to jump through one of the warehouse windows, Van Cleef throws a grenade, causing all of it to explode behind him. As he bursts through, he front flips, lands onto his back, slides like 10 goddamn feet. He like slides 10 feet on his back underneath the table, and then is underneath Van Cleef and
John
just
Woo
unloads.
knows how to do action.
Yeah.
He doesn't do realistic action.
Yeah, no, abso-fucking-lutely right.
That's correct.
Man, it was so cool. We were all like, "What?"
Yeah,
I mean,
that was great.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely how I felt. I was like, "That's cool." He slid all the way underneath him and then just unloaded.
Yeah, and then he like landed and then had the grenade.
Mm-hmm.
It fell, but he still had it held, so he kept it held the whole time.
And that's the grenade
And that's
that
the grenade he
that
ended
would
up putting
kill
in the trousers.
Lance Henriksen. So yeah, I thought this movie was awesome. It kind of lulled a bit. I told you guys I was like, I'm feeling a little tired. It could just be the fact that we work hectic schedules and shit, and like me having a daughter just keeps me up. So nonetheless, but it kind of lulled just a little bit. But anytime action happened, I couldn't stop watching because it's so good. Woo knows how to do action, and he knew how to do it back then and still does. Like it's fantastic. So
yeah,
that's
definitely. I think Jean-Claude, his haircut, is a little frustrating to look at.
the mullet.
It was a simpler time.
That it was.
Yeah, I think what's his name? Achy Breaky Heart was really big at the time, so like mullets were in again. So what's his name?
Weird Al
Cyrus.
Yankovic.
Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy fucking
Oh, yeah.
Ray Cyrus.
You know he's doing rap music now.
That's what I hear on the radio,
Everyone's
literally
saying
in the
it's
song.
Good. But it's not at all.
It's like the opposite when Kid Rock went to like hip hop to country and everybody accepted it. It's like he went from country to hip hop and people are like, "This is trash."
He's being lauded as good, but any hoozle. I just wanted to apologize for the
popular.
people at home. I'm really tired. I don't know if you noticed.
You're
I
good,
just
man.
wanted to
You're good.
Tell everyone.
Well, I was done. I had
It's-
nothing else to say about Hard Target
but-
unless y'all had something.
No, I was just saying with the Billy Ray Cyrus thing. I mean, it's popular. I'm sure it's like a good song in the sense that it's cut and dry, about as produced as you can imagine.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
Have
like
you heard what I'm talking about?
I haven't listened to
Oh,
it.
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
really care for the poppiest stuff. Sometimes I get into pop songs because just
I love
I wanna
Poppy. She's
dance,
great.
I want to dance.
Yeah.
But like most of the time, I'm the type of dude that is like, have you heard this Bandcamp band that plays like jazzy math rock? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll go
No.
over here.
So back to my Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
You
But
should make a list of jazzy math rock bands.
I can
'Cause
actually.
I was asking you
I
about it
can
earlier.
actually.
Yeah. I'll burn it as
Name
an effigy.
5. Okay, name
5?
10.
10?
Okay, name 15.
Okay, give me a challenge.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I really liked Hard Target. I thought tonight, just to reiterate, tonight was great.
I give Hard Target 4 out of 4. Woos!
Nice. And those are Ric Flairs.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
That's a Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
It's quite the rating.
How many
generous
woos?
there.
How many woos do you give it?
Give Hard Target.
Yeah. How many Ric Flair John woos do you give it?
Man, it's a toughie. I just wanted to say toughie. Stupid thing.
You do enjoy toughies.
Something your grandma says. Oh, pop on the boob tube.
Pop on the booby
Fucking-
tube.
What's
Pop on the
her?
booby tube.
Who's that dude that sells shitty products?
What's that status?
Dr. Oz. My grandma really likes Dr. Oz.
My grandmother watches Dr. Octopus.
And it's just like, hey, Granny, Dr. Oz is a fucking huckster. Do you know that? Yeah. And she laughs,
She gets it. She gets
Yeah,
it.
dumb bitch.
Well, I'd say I'd give today's Hard Target, if I was giving it a Ric Flair Johnny Woo. So stupid. I couldn't say that seriously without laughing. If I was going to give this a Ric Flair Johnny Woo, it'd be 6 woos. It'd be 6 woos.
6 out of 5?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
7 fucking pigeons.
That's a callback.
Call back.
Okay, let's press on to our next Hard Target, which was a really lengthy episode of Law and Order.
Yeah, it's accurate.
So Josh,
Kid who grew up in
tell us
Brooklyn.
what is our second movie and give us a quick synopsis.
It's called Out for Justice, starring Steven Seagal. And so plot for Out for Justice, so guess what? It's a rough and tumble cop that plays by his own rules. Did anyone see that coming? Because that blew me away. I was surprised by that.
I was shocked.
Because I was like, man, we're just gonna get a straightforward cop that does his job and follows orders. Yeah, but no, he does whatever he wants.
Here he is filing papers.
Yeah, he's just doing paperwork. No, so you got your rough and tumble cop that does whatever he wants, and his friend gets shot by a crime syndicate, of course. So he goes out detectiving and finding who did it, and he's getting revenge, as every fucking action movie has. It's a revenge plot.
You know how great there'd be if there was a movie that didn't get revenge.
Yeah.
Oh wait, No Country for Old Men. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Sorry. It literally came to me the second I made the joke, so I was like, "Oh fuck!" Well, there is a movie. God damn it. Okay. All right.
It's true.
Continue.
There's no vengeance in that.
Yeah.
By
but,
genius filmmakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so he's going on a tirade.
He's trying to find the people that did it, and he interviews people. Actually, he kind of just intimidates people to giving him information.
He really does, but that's because he's operating on his own rules.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But he goes from bar to house to dilapidated apartment, getting information. And speaking with a horrible Brooklyn accent that he made up on the spot. But he...
Oh, forget about
it.
Over here.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Over where? Over anywhere.
But anyway, he gets all his info, and then he takes down the main bad guy. And that's the plot, so we can talk about specifics.
Yeah, that was a good rough synopsis.
Basic plot.
I'd have to say. Okay, so I have a couple of quick.
Whoops.
Couple of quick notes.
What you got?
Quick note section.
So Steven is laughably bad with his dialogue. Okay, so let's start with that. You touched on it a little bit. Hey, come over here. Where are you? Over here.
I'm so sorry.
Over here.
And I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you fucking mook. Yeah, where's the guy I need to look for over here?
What did I say about ethnic slurs?
Hey, he said it. I didn't
I'm
say
kidding.
it.
I'm fucking, dude. I'm fucking.
He fucking said it over here.
So at one point, one of you made the observation that in Under Siege 2, one that we've recently watched in the past for Shit Show Showdown, his dialogue wasn't as I'm going to use the word slurry because he's talking with his natural cadence. He's not doing a voice other than Brooklyn, and so everything he's saying is just kind of running together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's just like...
He just talks normally.
Yeah, way more whispery than that.
Yeah, he's more whispery.
You're my daughter. Why you gotta be like that? I'm still doing it a little bit. But.
So, have you seen Richie? Have you seen? He's like doing a Marlon Brando minutes before he died.
Yeah, Marlon Brando on his deathbed. That's the voice he's doing.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yep.
No, I want to come out the gate saying I really loved Out for Justice. Out for Justice was great. This is true Steven Seagal. We got true Jean-Claude Van Damme and true Steven Seagal. This wasn't on the downslope of their career where they're barely fighting and mostly just talking, and their name is selling the movie. Here, their name is selling the movie, but they are in prime.
Yeah,
they're at their
their
prime.
peak.
This is good stuff. So,
both had a lot of great martial arts scenes.
yeah, they really did. I know we vaguely touched on Hard Target, but I think after we talk a little bit Out for Justice, we can compare the two because like one had like martial arts, fighting, and then one had like martial arts violence, like incredible blood violence.
One thing I loved about the Out for Justice though was the scene with the pool cues where he's fighting the dude with the pool cues.
Oh yeah,
clearly they had to get an Asian man for that.
Yeah,
they couldn't find an Italian actor that could do that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So it's just so funny and out of place that you just have like, oh yeah, it's the one Asian Italian American.
Yeah, he's the token Asian guy in the Italian mob.
The Italian mob bar.
That was cool for that scene too, because Vinny wouldn't be doing that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like in the context of the scene.
I get you.
Like some random like Italian mobster wouldn't be like doing this like really technical
That's a good point.
shit.
That's a good point.
So
he's gonna have his henchmen do his knocking around kind of shit.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool that we picked these movies because back to back it shows everyone the very big difference between Seagal and Van Damme. Like Van Damme they're both amazing martial artists like we were talking about, but and I would even say that Van Damme's probably a better martial artist in real life. I don't know. That's kind of conjecture on my part. I'm not 100%, but that's just my guess.
They're both technicians.
Yeah, they're both really good, but Seagal for me is way more interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because
But
Van Damme just kicks people, kind of. That's kind of all he does, and gets old.
That's how he got fired from Predator. He literally would not stop kicking on set. And so the director was like, okay, that's it. You're fucking fired. You're gone. Because he would not stop kicking.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Okay, so just a quick thing real fast. Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally billed to play the alien in Predator. So he was essentially going to play Predator. But he wouldn't stop doing martial arts on the set, at the production offices, everything. And so one day the director pulled him in and says, look, you got to stop with that. Like, nobody wants that. He's like, well, I see that the Predator has a kickboxing. And he's like, no, there's no fucking kickboxing. It's not that type of movie.
That's great.
And so, like, apparently Jean-Claude called him some bullshit or whatnot. Like, you're bullshit. And so the guy was like, fine, you're fucking fired. You'll never work in Hollywood again. He was wrong, parenthetical. Yeah. But nonetheless, Jean-Claude Van Damme then said, kiss my balls. And not suck my balls.
Not
kiss my ass. Kiss my balls. Like a true Frenchman. Okay, so there's that. So like you're right. He does just kick people. He kicks the shit out of people.
He
all
does
the time.
that well.
He does split kicks.
He does.
It's in all of his movies. He has to do a split. He has to do split kicks. Yada yada.
Right.
And we saw 2, and they were fucking badass.
But yeah, you make a very valid point. Steven is out here just like snap,
breaking
arms. Crackle, pop.
Yeah, he's breaking arms. He's what's really cool is
He's so fast too with his
he's fast,
hands.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
uses people's weight weight against them. So
Yeah.
if someone's charging at him, he'll
Their weight
throw
and
their,
momentum.
he'll
Oh
use their
yeah,
weight
no.
and
Like,
momentum.
that's what I was saying without how much of a technician they both are. Like
Right,
he's an
yeah.
absolute technician where he's like he's definitely a very counter heavy player or fighter. Fucking where it's just like he would let them come at him. Where
Yeah.
Van Damme was more like I'll come at you. with kicks.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Offensive and defensive fighters.
And I'm
Yeah.
convinced in real life, Seagal would probably get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, if this many guys came at him,
Oh,
he would
yeah.
he would fail, of course. But it's,
Because in real life everybody comes at you at once. They don't like
yeah,
give you
exactly.
turn. It's not a kumite. They're there to fucking kick your ass, and
Yeah.
probably, especially in that circumstance, they're there to kill you.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah.
fair fight in
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah, and
There's
if
no
you're
fair
getting
fight.
shot at, it's more than likely
Yeah.
gonna die.
Yeah.
So on touching more on Steven Seagal's type of martial arts and the violence that comes with it. We've got Hard Target, which is a lot of kickboxing and stuff, and everybody getting knocked out or they're getting shot. Steven Seagal will use a cleaver to cut your fucking hand in half
Yeah.
and make sure you
The
are
same
mounted to that wall.
The
Yeah.
same cleaver that he had just stuck in someone's leg earlier.
Yeah. Because they came at him. Okay, so we'll set up the scene. I'm all giddy because this is when we knew what we were stepping into. First off, William Four-Scythes, who plays an incredible villain in this.
Really good, yeah.
He steals the show.
He shoots
far
a
and
woman.
away.
Yeah, he really does, John. You're right. He shoots a woman in broad daylight in the middle of the fucking road and walks off to this butchery that they own.
Because she's honking at him because they won't move in traffic because
Yeah.
they're smoking crack. And,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're not
Yeah.
going to move.
Yeah.
He's a
So
psycho. Yeah.
they go to this butchery, and that's what they own. And so he's like, "Hey, motherfuckers, coming this way. You guys be ready. We're gonna dart out the back." And so Steven Seagal shows up and then proceeds to destroy every motherfucker that decided to attack him. One of them comes at him with a cleaver, which he does this whole arm flip thing and then stabs that cleaver into the guy's back. It's like in his rib cage, so he can't reach it or anything. He's just trying.
Yeah.
He's trying to grab at it, but then proceeds to take that cleaver out of that man's back and stick another man to a wall by cutting his hand in half with it. It's just we were just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's really fucked
To
up.
see a hand get cut in half is really gnarly.
Yeah.
Really.
They would,
I mean, it's all fake.
he
but
would be in
it's
prison
fun. Yeah, he
for
would be in
that kind of police work.
He's just
For
a,
that
he's
police
just a cop that plays by his own rules, man. Yeah, he's like first fucking scene in the movie. He's like, get me an unlicensed shotgun, and his chief's just like, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a great.
John and I
police
looked at
chief.
each other and we're like, "Oh, okay, sure. He can do that. His chief's cool with it." Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
So another scene that was incredibly violent was when he goes to the mafia bar and beats everybody with a cue ball wrapped inside of a rag.
yeah, like 30 different people.
I mean,
beats
when
him
that
to death
guy
with-
spits 4 fucking teeth out,
that was great. Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, "How'd you knock my fucking teeth out? Let me come in close for a second shot to the face."
Well, what's cool?
He did not learn his lesson immediately.
Yeah, and what's really cool about that scene is they're all talking and he wants info, but no one's giving him information. So, but while he's talking and interrogating and being a dick, he's
Royal dick.
Yeah, he's bouncing the cue ball up and down. So all of us were all like, okay, he's gonna use that somehow. He's gonna throw it at someone, but he's bouncing it, and then once tensions have gotten really high and everyone's gonna start fighting, he wraps it in a shirt.
No, it was a bar rag. It was
Was
just
it
a bar rag.
rag?
Yeah, because he
Oh,
punched
okay.
the bartender was a boxer. He's like, who's the boxer? He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'm the
okay.
boxer.
Yeah.
He's like, you think you're pretty tough? I can hold my own. Knocks him the fuck out and then takes
Yeah.
a bar rag.
Oh, it's the bar rag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he rolls it up in a bar rag so that he has a cudgel, and anyway.
Dude, he
Starts smashing
annihilates.
people in the
Oh,
face
yeah.
with it. It's
He's
great.
destroying people with that.
Like, I mean, people are getting hit in the fucking head. We should be screaming this right now. Like, you guys,
Yeah, wish
unless
you
you
could
have
see it,
seen
yeah.
the fucking movie, you have no idea the kind of damage he is doing with this fucking
Yeah,
cue
it's
ball.
pretty great. Yeah.
Like, I know the whole point of the podcast is to talk about, like, you know, what we're seeing, but, like, there's just so much with the cue ball. I mean, he's
going to town.
you just
on
hear it
cats.
hitting skulls, and you're like, how is that fucker still getting up? That's where you, like, play dead. You're like, oh, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
I'm gonna go
At
down
that
to
point,
Blimpies.
at that point, you're not even playing dead. You're just like concussed on the floor. Just like,
I don't know how they're getting up to fight him more, but
I know it's insane.
he fucks them all up.
Yeah.
And he taunts that badge. He's like, anybody want this badge can come and take it.
Yeah. And the bad guy in there is like, I'll give you 5,000 if you can give me that badge. So then he recruits everyone.
Yeah, and
with money.
everybody immediately is like,
Yeah.
well, I live in America, so I definitely need money.
I mean, honestly, he's like punching him. Honestly, it's the capitalist society that made me do this.
I really don't want to hurt you, man. Trust me, you're not gonna hurt me. Arm broken 50 times right there.
Yeah.
The man is screaming, regretting his decision.
It will never recover right.
Never recover.
No, it's the
Physical recovery, a year. Mental recovery,
No, I'm saying
never.
like physical recovery, it'll never heal back properly.
Yeah,
Like that's gonna be something that bothers him the rest
rest
of his life.
Yeah.
Even when it rains, it's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Steven Seagal impression has to be done with their eyes closed. I notice we keep
That's
doing
like
that.
that's like every Robert Downey, not Robert Downey. Every Robert De Niro impression needs to be done with a furrowed brow with the eyes closed, kind of.
Yeah.
Fucking talking to me.
You talking to me?
Talking to
You talking to me?
Jump
can't
cut to all of us in the studio. We're all making fucking.
Yeah, it's not bad, James. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
Thanks.
that.
James, pretty good.
I appreciate. I actually pride myself on my Robert De Niro and have practiced it in the mirror. So,
Yeah, I can't do any
I'm
of
a
that
fucking
shit.
nerd.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a good impression over here.
Yeah.
Not mine, though.
I pride myself on doing intentionally bad impressions.
Yeah, John, you've been able to do that since Boyd.
Oh, I've been amazing. I've been practicing it since Boyd.
John, I got nipples. Milk me. Milk me.
Well, I mean, if you insist.
Okay.
Let me get my machine out. Hold on.
That's an entertaining impression, James.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, we're making
I
faces.
can do
no
Brad
one can
Pitt
see
and
it.
Colin Farrell.
What's your
Okay, that's I know
love
they're
it.
Brad Pitt and
No, I
Colin
get it.
Farrell.
No, I get it. I got the joke already.
What's
but
your
like,
Brad Pitt?
That's it. Hold on. Okay, those of you listening, you can't see the face. The impersonation is the face. So I'm just gonna hit Josh real quick with the Brad Pitt.
Okay. Wait, I'm gonna look away.
Okay.
And look over.
Look.
Okay, that's Brad Pitt. Okay,
Okay.
now look away and here's Colin Farrell.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. They do the same face all the time, and they're both
I can never
exceptional
unsee
actors.
King's
that.
speech.
Oh yeah, they're phenomenal actors.
Yeah.
Okay, now speaking of phenomenal actors, I want to talk about William Forsythe because he stole the show. Steven Seagal definitely kicks ass and destroys William Forsythe in the end.
Yeah, he destroys people and lines. Sorry, what you were saying.
Hey, you're that asshole that fucking hates animals. Yeah, what of it, buddy? Go suck a dick. For those of you, that's the very end of the movie.
Yeah, because there's a dog that gets thrown out a window.
Yeah.
And he picks it up and he's like, "I like you, little puppy.
I like this puppy
I
all
like
of a
this
sudden.
puppy. I
Yeah,
hate that
what
guy.
of it?
I'm gonna, and he deliberately says it out loud too, like, I'm gonna see that asshole again.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that asshole again one day. I'm gonna have to tape my eyes open to find him, but I'm gonna fucking get him. I don't know what voice I'm doing
He
now.
leaves the dog in the car all goddamn day.
He leaves the dog in the car the entire movie and at one point says, I almost forgot about you. You're a fucking dog.
So funny,
Do you eat? I've never owned one. Okay, so no, but seriously, William Forsythe,
Oh my god,
was
no,
amazing.
I'm gonna forget if I don't say it though, because that just also reminded me where his wife that he's getting divorced from was like, "So, did you have any animals when you were a kid?" Like, this is not something you ask when you're getting divorced from them.
You have a child together.
Y'all had a child together for like at least 6 years. The kid's like got to be like 8.
Yeah.
So
You
at
would
least
know
8
if your
years.
husband had a dog ever at any point in his life. You would know that. You would know. At one point, he would see a dog and go, "Hey, look at that puppy," and she'd be like, "Oh my God, we should get Joseph a puppy," and he's like, "I don't know. That puppy died when I was young, and I can never have a puppy again." Like he would say something like, "Oh, I remember having a puppy." I don't know why I'm doing Mark Wahlberg fucked Steven Seagal, and they had a love child.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I'm doing, but who fucking cares?
Oh god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, that love child would be incredibly racist, but really good at martial arts. So he would just be going around just beating the fuck out of
The
ethnicities.
racist artist. Okay. So William Forsythe, he steals the show. He's the bad guy, and he doesn't look slick. He doesn't look cool. He literally just looks like a druggy kingpin that like rules a couple of blocks and like just murders
he's
people.
Great. William Forsythe. That's
Foreskin,
what you're saying.
yeah. William
Forsythe.
Foreskin.
Yeah, it's Forsythe.
He has the foresight to make sure that he goes back in time to kill the fucking rabbi from trying to take his foreskin.
Forsythe.
Okay, so earlier I mentioned how he shot this woman in the head in traffic in broad daylight.
Which I completely
Oh
understand.
my god,
Yeah.
it all makes sense
yeah,
now.
Santa Fe
Guys,
drivers.
He's
God.
such.
Come the
I
fuck
just
on.
realized why he's such a great actor.
Why?
He's not a person at all. He's 4 scythes.
He's 4 scythes combined into one
I'm
William
gonna break
scythe.
your laptop. I'm gonna throw it out a window.
He's
me
not
that.
one man. He's 4.
No.
Oh,
Give
they're
me your-
shuffling
I
noises.
need it for school.
Yep, here it goes. There it goes.
It's broken. We're gonna flush it in the toilet. Somehow it goes down the hole. If it's a cartoon, it went all the way down.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so William Forsythe, he kills this woman in broad daylight. That's just a small testament to how crazy and neurotic he is. He is on the edge from smoking crack. He owes lots of money. Meanwhile, has money. He beats women. Like does whatever the fuck he wants. And he looks like a real man walking around in Brooklyn that could possibly have that type of power. Like
For real,
yeah.
he's just wearing a trench coat, his shirt's tucked in, his like belly's out. I mean, he looks like an Al Capone character, and I'm sure there was inspiration for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, we were talking about that during this screening, where it's like most of these movies, especially with a big action star like Jean-Claude or Schwarzenegger, they always have a bad guy who is like really buff and like jacked, and their character traits are always really boring. Now we don't really know much about William Forsythe's character, to be honest, but he's physically he's like a really big dude. Like he's overweight.
Yeah.
And he's a crack
A
addict.
lot of his character, I feel,
and
was told through like his family members.
His family?
Yes, through interrogation.
Yeah,
So
through
like when
Seagal
Steven would
and-
show up and be like, "How come your bro?
Oh yeah,
your
'cause it's
son's
his
doing all
brother
these
that
drugs."
owns right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
yeah.
also say that they are friends.
Yeah, they,
So the
they were
bad guy
childhood
and
friends.
good guy were childhood friends. One became corrupt.
I
and one
completely forgot about that.
one became corrupt, which was William Forsythe, and then Steven
I
Seagal
really
became
wish
the
they
cop,
had
the
shown
good
like
guy.
a childhood scene, like just a quick scene of the two of them like doing something.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it just shows their paths diverging. But then
Because
but that-
whenever he
but that's
kills
what-
him,
but that's
whenever
what's
he
done
kills
in a
him,
good
it's-
film that handles the
Yeah.
topic, like The Departed.
Yeah, because if he kills him in the end, it's more emotionally impactful for our protagonist and us as the audience. You know,
Instead-
the protagonist is our vessel through the story, and it's like if he feels emotionally involved or emotional dismay for killing his best friend, that would definitely help. Like I can see that working.
Yeah,
But
he
the
doesn't
fact that
show
it wasn't
any
in there
emotional
is
dismay
totally
whatsoever.
fine.
It's a cool kill scene,
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel emotional at all.
yeah.
Like if you didn't know any better, it would just be like, oh, that's just some guy he killed.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be like, oh, that's one of his friends when he was a kid,
Right.
kind of thing. But
Yeah. But Josh, you were saying like you didn't think there was enough to his character, like even though John, like you said, we get information about him, but he doesn't really give us information, right? You know what I mean? Like his
Right,
backstory.
yeah.
He doesn't go, yeah, well, my dad used to put out cigarettes on my fucking face or something, like that.
Yeah.
But
Or I don't like snakes.
yeah, just something about his character. But here's the thing. I thought I learned everything I needed to know about his character through his performance. The way he carried himself, the way he tosses his jacket, and the way he swings his fucking gun everywhere.
it's
He
pretty
points his
cool.
gun
lot
to
of,
everything.
lot of bravado.
Yeah.
very,
yeah.
very thematic, like
I hate
theatrical,
to
I
keep
should say.
jumping around.
Go ahead.
But this needs to be mentioned. You reminded me. Hard target, snake trap.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh yeah.
uh,
That.
Okay, let's come back. Okay, let's finish up. Remember that. Okay,
Alright.
there's a snake trap in Hard Target, people. Okay, so I thought through his performance, the way he carried himself told me everything I needed to know. Like that I didn't need, John, I didn't need a backstory of them being boys because I can see how horrible of a human being he is.
I get that.
And
yeah.
just me being just an average humane person, I like animals, I like people, don't care where you come from, who you are, age, all of that.
Yeah.
It's like when you look at him, you go, that man is nothing like me.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has went far off the path.
Yeah, like the last scene before they have their final shootout. Most movies you'll have them be like give me the girl, or they have a conversation before the shootout, like you were never supposed to be this way, you were supposed to be this way, but none of that shit. He's forcing a girl to have sex with him, which is disgusting.
Not
And
physically, mentally.
Right, yeah.
He's like manipulating her.
Right,
He's
he's
Yeah,
manipulating
she's
her.
horrible.
I think
person.
she's.
In the
I think
middle
she's
of-
protecting her little sister.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, and in the middle of it, of him doing that, he starts hearing. He doesn't even know they're there yet, but he starts hearing gunshots, and he's like, I don't remember his
Something like, "Oh, I gotta go play" or something.
Yeah, he's like, he's still smiling. His emotional state has
Oh my
not
God.
changed, and he's like, okay, I gotta go play.
Yeah.
Which
And he's
I butchered that
smiling.
line. Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is all part of it. He doesn't care.
He
Doesn't give a
knows
fuck.
this to be his last night. That's what he keeps saying. This is my
Yeah.
last night. I'm gonna live it up. He is
Yeah.
out to die.
Which
Like,
is a really fascinating thing for a bad guy.
yeah. No, I completely agree. I thought how crazy he was throughout the entire movie, like where he's doing sadistic things but laughing maniacally. It tells me everything I need to know about that character.
Yeah.
It
Plus
would have
he's
been.
on
It
crack.
would have been. Yeah, he is on crack. It would have been nice had we had a little bit of information, whether it's them as boys and they're
Yeah.
sharing, like they're playing.
I just feel to make it a little-
baseball
yeah.
in the street.
Or they do something. They come across a situation where Seagal, as a kid, is like, "This is messed up. We need to tell somebody," and he's like sadistically like, "No, let's like a puppy with a broken leg."
Yeah.
That would play a role for the puppy later on, where they come across a puppy with a broken leg, and Seagal's like, "We got to help this puppy," and he's like, "No, let's kill the puppy,"
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And that's where they start to diverge paths.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Sure.
No, that would have
Yeah, I
been
feel that.
brilliant.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
would've been
nice
cool.
little piece. Because then every time we see the puppy, we're reminded of that scene, and we don't even have to do a flashback. You don't
Yeah.
even have to flashback. Every time you see the dog, you go, "Oh, they were young boys at once. One of them wanted to kill the dog, and he didn't." And then so from that moment on, and then he can have a badass line and say something like, "Time to put you down."
Yeah.
Something cool like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't even have a badass line. What did he say whenever he finally kills
This
William
is for
Forsythe?
Bobby.
This is for Bobby. Yeah, the detective that got killed, which
Boo.
We don't
catapulted the
get any
entire
sort of,
story.
He
like-
kills him with a wine opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The corkscrew
and,
wine
and we don't get
opener.
any sort of like history of Bobby and Seagal at all either.
Yeah.
It's
So
not-
whenever he kills him, it's like
yeah, you know that he cared about Bobby, but the only
just
thing,
because they told us.
yeah,
There
because,
should have
because
been-
there's one line from one of the side characters that's like, "You really loved Bobby," kind of thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, there
that's it.
should have been
There's
a
no-
whole scene with them talking
Yeah.
and establishing their friendship.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Well, he kills him with a corkscrew, and I feel like they really missed an opportunity. Josh, you said "screw you" as your one-liner.
You're screwed.
Or "you're screwed." Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I said my one-liner was "put a cork in it," because he was like
be
talk-
quiet.
Yeah, like shut up. Either one of those
And
would have
my
been better
one-liner
than
is, "Things are getting too spicy for the pepper."
things are getting too spicy for the pepper. Oh, that's great. Did you think of that all by yourself, honey? That's from American Dad, Josh. Sorry. He's like just pounding his face. Okay, so I want to talk about what the most violent piece of imagery we watched throughout both films. We're going to touch on the snake trap.
No. I want to hear about this scene first.
But,
I've
yeah,
already
I'm gonna
written
say
down
this.
the snake trap, so I'll make sure you'll forget.
Okay, so I've got 2 notes. I've got the horrifically violent scene at the final fight scene of Out for Justice, where Steven Seagal shoots off a guy's leg, and then I also want to say that Beastie Boys was in it. Okay,
Yeah.
so back to
Yeah.
so back to the leg getting shot clean the fuck off.
Yeah, it was great.
Seagal's infiltrating the final apartment of this girl who's being emotionally manipulated to have sex with William Forsythe's character. This is the final scene. Steven Seagal is cleaning house. I mean, he is shooting people, stabbing people, just fucking
Grabbing
them up.
people through windows.
Grabbing people through windows. But there is a moment where he takes the shotgun and shoots this guy's leg clean off, right at the base of the knee.
Yeah.
So it's not like a knee where he shoots him in the knee and it all falls off. He shoots right below the knee and that leg just falls right the fuck
it's
off.
pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
It was
gruesome.
I loved
incredible
it.
special
Yeah, it
effects.
was
great.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
To me, it
effects.
took. I looked at the both of you and I was like, best scene of the fucking night. That
Yeah,
to me,
yeah, for
I
real.
jumped up, hands in the air. I was like, that was incredible.
Yeah.
I
Incredible.
love horrific violence.
Well, that's the thing is like humans' obsession is either violence or sex, and it's amazing how we get off of them.
Well,
in a funny way.
it all just comes
You
down.
see a sex scene and you can laugh. You see a violent scene and you laugh. It's just so primal to us that we
Yeah.
want to see
the
that
primal instinct
gladiatorial
is always
shit.
survive.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like part of it is we subconsciously enjoy violence because we get like okay, this is something we don't want to happen.
That's the point I was trying to make. It's
Yeah.
like we don't want anything horrible to happen to us. But if we see it happen, it's fucking hilarious and we want more of it. It's like
That's part of that's just being raised on a
open world
Yeah.
society of the internet.
Very
steady
ultra-violence.
diet of violent stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was awesome. Like,
I mean, you make
Yeah.
snuff films, so
Oh, yeah,
yeah, that's
no,
right. Yeah,
would-
yeah.
No, that's
Are you still doing those, or is it something you've just kind of
He
wrapped
mentioned
up?
it last week.
I
on the
remember
podcast.
my lawyer doesn't advise me to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Right. Sorry. So the snake trap. You're going to talk about the snake trap.
Okay, so that's all I have to say about Out for Justice. I want to talk about the snake trap, and I think all 3 of us want to talk about it collectively.
Yes.
Who wants to set it up?
Go ahead, Jan.
No, James,
Jan.
go ahead and set it up.
I
'cause
can't
set
remember,
Up, I set
so.
up Hard Target, and he set up
Okay,
Out for Justice.
Fair
so.
enough. I
That's-
love this whole give and take relationship where we just jerk each other off under the table.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Mind
it's
you, we're
my
also
turn
Almost
to come.
done.
Also,
by the
mind
way.
you, we're all jerking each other off the entire
Almost
time that
there.
we podcast every time.
Okay, so there's so when Lance Henriksen, okay, this is back on Hard Target. Lance Henriksen and then the Mummy start to track down what's his name? Van Bordeaux.
Van Bordeaux.
Chance Bordeaux.
Chance Bordeaux.
Chance
yeah.
Van
fuck
Bordeaux.
was
Also, are there rattlesnakes in Louisiana?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh
There's
yeah, because I guess
predominantly
I guess
it's water
north-
moccasins.
Yeah, I guess North.
which
Florida
is
had
what would
rattlesnakes.
have been out in the swamp, but nonetheless, okay. So he's running. He's got the girl, the damsel. They're running through the marsh and swamps of Louisiana, and he decides to. He's having a moment. Dove, sweetie. He's having a moment where he's looking into the eyes lovingly of the woman, and he's like, "Do you trust me?" And she's like, "I just met you. Of course I trust you." And he's like, "Close your eyes." And she's like, "Do I have to trust you with my eyes closed?" Which is something someone says when they're feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
Let's just think about that. Okay.
That's correct.
And though he's like, "Just close your eyes." And she closes her eyes, and then a snake is coming up over her shoulder, and he grabs it. He catches it, and she's like, "Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking..." No, she doesn't say that. "Holy fucking shit, that's a snake." And he's like, "I know.
I know. I just climbed.
And then he
These
punches the
These
snake.
climb
'cause
around
snake's
the
still-
streets of Paris every day.
The snake's still going, so he punches the snake.
He
a couple
does.
times.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say next.
Punches it.
He punches. Well, first I made
the
a joke. I
face.
was like, he's gonna fight the snake now, because he's been kicking everybody, and I just pictured like a 2D fighting game where Jean-Claude Van Damme is dancing over in one corner, and then a snake is just kind of doing its little head bob thing, and then they fight.
Dun, 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 dun,
But then instead of him
dun, dun,
fighting
dun,
it,
dun.
he punches the snake. I mean, he's holding it by the throat. I'm going to call it the throat of the snake. His whole body is a throat by my standards. It's just a head, neck, and that's all of it. So he's grabbing it, and then he pops it in the face, and it's like, its fangs are out and everything, and then he's like, punches it again. This is the KO. This is the KO.
he knocks the
hit.
snake out.
He knocks the snake out, and it's all hanging, and its tongue's out. My tongue is out. And then she's like, oh my God, is it dead? And he's like, not even close. he's like, I punched it halfway to death.
I'm a fucking snake expert.
And then we were like, what the fuck is he doing? And he's like, doesn't he say I'm gonna set up a trap or some
and
shit?
he bites
he
its
takes
rattle
the
off.
he bites the rattle off,
That's
and he's like, I
right.
need to silence it.
I need to.
Or like
oh
a
my God.
silencer or
Okay,
something.
okay, I have flubbed this up. So he knocks the fucking snake out, and then he takes the tail of it, and he takes the tail of it and bites the rattle off. And so he's covered in like snake blood and shit. He looks like a Cajun at this point. He's the only moment that he actually looks like he's from Louisiana. A mullet, a dead or knocked out rattlesnake, and you've got snake blood on your face. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to Sitco real quick. I gotta fill up my truck. Oh yeah, this thing? No, it was giving me some shit, so I took its rattle. Like that's all it looks like. So then he somehow has enough time to set up a trip wire which initiates the snake to attack from a tree branch.
Yeah. Where
So
did he
this-
get the wire from?
The vine.
Yeah.
The vines. Swamp Thing swooped in and he was like, people call me a good Samaritan.
Hi, do you need some miscellaneous sundries? Here they are in my chest. I'm so twined for traps.
So one of the henchmen who's following...
Thank you, Swamp Thing.
No problem.
No problem. I'm Rob Dyrdek. I play Swamp Thing. Okay, so it's not Rob Dyrdek.
It's
Okay,
Dick
so
DeRock.
Dick DeRock. So one of the henchmen, who is actually a rich man somewhere on Earth, paid $750,000 to hunt alongside other men for Van Damme, and so he is the one that
No,
trips
it was
over.
five different. It was five separate billionaires that all paid $750,000 to hunt Van Damme.
That's What did I say?
He said one guy. He normally.
No, I'm talking about the one guy that trips on the wire.
Oh, gotcha.
Not all five of them trip on the
Okay.
wire, John.
Well, maybe they should have in a Benny Hill style.
They're just flopping all over the mud. Okay, so one of the billionaires who's paid money to come hunt, greatest game, whatever, trips over the vine wire that kind of catapults the snake out of the tree onto the man's face, and it just starts biting. It starts biting the man. And
As
we're just
snake do.
laughing because it's a snake trap. It's a snake trap.
Yeah.
It's not a
snake
pit full
trap.
of snakes
Nope.
covered with brush.
Right. Yeah.
That's a reasonable snake trap. No, this is a spring-loaded snake.
yeah. Like they wanted to use that.
Yeah.
It's like they wanted everything. They wanted a First Blood type thing where he sets up traps in the swamp
But they had
and
enough
takes
time
them
for
out one by one. But
If
they
wanted-
also wanted the shootout at the end at a warehouse.
Yeah.
So it's
and
like
they wanted a bunch of the scenes in the fucking city too.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
they
just-
wanted a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And they should have stuck to one
One of the-
theme
yeah,
and
one
one
theme.
setting.
I really wanted it to end of the swamp, him doing Rambo
Me
shit,
too.
taking
That's
people
what
out,
we
all
like-
thought was
like,
gonna
I would have
happen.
loved the whole movie to be Rambo shit.
Yeah.
On a fucking deserted island.
Yeah.
Or not deserted, but their hunting island.
Yeah.
Where he has to outsmart all the hunters one by one.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a buddy. His name is Matthew. He's back home. He's actually, I think he's moving to Colorado soon, which is great. But he actually wrote a short film called Jaeger, and it's about these contestants that get voted onto an island, and they think it's a all paid vacation, but inevitably they're being hunted. So it's kind of interesting. So I like the fact that you bring up the island because that's where you keep your main character. You know, you don't have him jumping all over New Orleans. Oh, he's in an industrial rundown factory.
Right.
Oh, he's out in the swamps. Just have the one setting.
Yeah.
But here's
and
the
if
If
reason
you're gonna
they
do modern
didn't
day
do the
dangerous
swamp.
game, do modern day most dangerous game.
Here's the reason they didn't do it in
Right.
the swamp.
Why?
Production.
Oh yeah, filming in the swamps would have been awful.
You're using daylight. You're using daylight in the swamp, so it's already heavy foliage. It's
I mean,
already hard to
does
walk
it have
around
to
in
be a
the
swamp
water
setting,
and the
though?
mud. They could have made a set, but that would have been
No,
bigger
I don't
budget.
mean set
Oh,
wise.
okay.
I mean, does it have to be a swamp setting?
Yeah,
Why
it could
can't
have
they
been a
just go to an
forest, sure.
island and have it just be an island forest?
Well, I'm sure it was because of production. Like they were like,
They
And
probably
I'm-
got
I say
paid
production-
from Louisiana to
yeah,
to
exactly.
make
Yeah,
it
they were
there.
filming at the time in Louisiana, so there's
Uh-huh.
that tax incentive and location and everything.
True.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is in New Orleans shooting a movie. That's
Yeah.
going to bring revenue to New Orleans. That's going to have people actually getting film jobs. So I can see why they did it. The island is obviously the better choice. The island is the better choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of nods to it being Louisiana. There's the song,
Born on
the
the
Mardi
Bayou.
Gras bullshit in the warehouse. Yeah, because there's more to Louisiana than Mardi Gras, I'm sure. And
There absolutely
you can
is,
contest,
yeah.
You can attest to, so.
Well, whenever we got
Everyone
there-
thinks
James
it's
can
just
contest. No, it's just Mardi Gras.
it's just Mardi Gras. I contest.
You can contest to it.
When Rachel's in the studio, our producer, when Rachel and I landed here after visiting home, the TSA agent asked us if that's, is that where all the crocodiles are at? And I was like, well, they're alligators, but yes. And no, we never see any alligators. You got to
We
go
live in
deep
a city.
south. Yeah.
We got all the gators. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
all the gators.
They're-
Crocodiles are only in Africa, but we got all the gators down
That's
in
what I'm
Florida.
saying. Like, he
We
said
have,
crocodiles, and I was like, well, that's.
I'm sure I've already
that's
told
not-
you all this, but we had gators in like our suburban ponds.
Oh no! Well, that's what I was about to follow it up with. We rarely see gators. Anytime a gator is
Or not gator.
seen,
Yeah, gator. Yeah.
it's on the news, and they're like, a gator has shown up in Cypress Lake and was eating golden retrievers, and then like that's the only kind of time you hear about
You
the
actually
gators.
had some
No,
in
yeah,
your
we had
pond?
them
yeah,
in all the
closer-
different ponds
down in
like,
Florida, they're gonna have
in
way
suburbia.
more.
Yeah,
Christ
they were,
almighty.
but they had pretty much like they're so chill at that point
Yeah,
that
They're
they
like
didn't
dogs.
care. Yeah,
they're
like pet 'em.
docile. You
yeah,
can
as
ride
long
them.
as you don't like walk right up on them, you was good.
Yeah,
And that's one thing that really is funny to me is that like people would be like, as a joke, would be like, "Oh, did they teach you how to run away from alligators?" And it's like, "Fuck you," but actually, yeah,
yeah.
you have to zigzag.
You have to zigzag.
Because they
'Cause
can
they can
outrun
do-
you. They can
They can
outrun
do like
you in a straight line.
30 miles an hour straight, right?
They can outrun you in a straight line. But
What?
That's
Yeah.
starting off. We're
Yeah.
talking from laying still
You're lying.
30 miles an
yeah,
hour.
30
they
I'm
miles.
are,
dead
they are
serious.
quick twitch motherfuckers.
Yeah.
30 miles an
They
hour.
are quick twitch motherfuckers.
Dude, they.
yeah.
I'm telling you.
But if
they
you but they
fucking
don't. But they have
move.
terrible.
Somebody look it
they
up.
have terrible
I'm almost positive it's like
depth
30
That's
miles an
so
hour.
peripheral
scary.
vision because the way their eyes are on their head, so they can't see their right and left. So if you're
Oh, okay.
zigzagging, it's very difficult for them to keep track of you.
Also go uphill,
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could do a corkscrew.
which is hard to
formation.
do in Florida.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of hills in Florida.
Okay,
Although-
Rachel,
fun
our
fact-
producer. Hold on. Rachel, our producer, just pulled it up. It's
Oh,
not
cool.
It's not 30. It's 20.
Still.
It's still pretty fast.
Yeah,
Alligator.
that's
Yeah.
what we've been
Oh
talking
my
about. An
God.
alligator.
I was gonna look up crocodiles.
Yeah, crocs
Oh
are in
my God.
Africa. Those motherfuckers are vicious. They'll attack you just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Alligators are like, don't come in my
They'll
area,
chomp your
and
ass.
you're
Yeah,
chill.
yeah. But basically in Louisiana, in New Orleans, yes, on the bayous and everything. Born on the bayous, there are alligators and stuff. But we were top left boot, so it's like there's no alligator. There's an alligator farm. You wanna come see some alligators?
Some that live out in Stonebridge and stuff.
Girl, you've been on your iPod the whole time. I just said that.
Oh,
you
you did?
knucklehead. Yeah,
I
I was
missed
like,
it
I was
too.
like, anytime we see gators in where we were at, it was one has showed up on Cypress Lake or something and is eating golden retrievers. Like it's happened before on the news. Sorry, I was just giving you shit, babe. She likes to pop in after. She's like, "Hey, 2 minutes into our conversation, what are you guys talking about?" I'm giving you shit. I love you. Okay, so nonetheless,
Sorry.
I love you. God damn it, leave the room. No, I'm kidding.
So
Get back in the truck.
apologies, y'all. I'm gonna have to head out soon.
All right,
Okay,
that's all
yeah,
good,
no,
bro.
I was actually just about to say I want to do our choices for the night. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because I'm
All right.
ready to.
I want to talk more. I do.
Sleepy time.
But I need to go to Betty Buys.
Betty buys. Sleepy
Betty
night.
buys.
Sleepy night. Go bye time. Okay, so let's start off with Josh. We'll go with you. What was your
So-
pick for the night?
Yeah,
Shit
I
show
have to go for
showdown,
Out
best
for
picture.
Justice. Faux show.
Out for Justice.
Now, granted, Out for Justice did drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
it
a part
lulled a
there
bit.
that dragged for a pretty
It did.
long time.
Yeah, there's Steven Seagal is more entertaining to me, even though in real life he's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh,
But,
I want to talk
uh,
about that too after we make our choices.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, totally. But yeah, Steven Seagal is more interesting to watch as far as action goes. He actually delivers lines better than Van Damme, because Van Damme has a tenuous grasp on the English language. At least Seagal was born here. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I
Yeah.
sound like I'm
No,
mad that he wasn't born here.
Yeah, what do you
but-
want, the wall? What do you want, the wall, bro? No, I'm kidding.
But, although it is funny to watch, like Schwarzenegger deliver lines back
yeah.
in the day. 'Cause
Yeah, no,
he can barely do it.
Fucking great.
But yeah, the action in Out for Justice was very entertaining.
Wow, listen to that helicopter. We get a
Ooh.
production value. Somebody hold for the copter. Okay, no, go ahead, Josh.
But yeah, just him flipping people around was great. I love in the fucking helicopter.
I know, it is like I'm flipping off the ceiling. I'm like, really?
But when he's in the bar, and he's intimidating everyone, he's walking around being a dick.
Yeah.
And he pushes that dude in a phone booth.
Oh, yeah.
And then he keeps talking, and then he comes back to the same guy and pushes him back in the phone booth.
That was
That was
fucking
a
hilarious.
Great scene, man.
He did it right before, like, he's like talking shit to everybody, and he pushes that guy because he starts to say some shit. So he's like, sit your fucking ass
Yeah,
in this
like he
phone
doesn't
booth.
even matter. He's not even. Yeah.
Then beats the shit out of everybody, and then the guy finally makes his way out of the phone booth, and he pushes him right back in, and then punches the mobster, just knocks him the fuck out.
Like that bar scene was better than anything in Hard Target. in my
Fair enough.
opinion. But
Yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, Out for Justice is my pick.
John, yours.
I really enjoyed Hard Target all the way through, but I have to say, yeah, Out for Justice in general was.
That surprised
more
me. I thought
entertaining.
you were gonna go with Hard
I
Target.
thought you were gonna go with Hard Target. too.
I really liked it, and I was really digging a lot of the scenes. But Seagal's style of fighting, like you were saying, is just so much more
He's so quick, man.
generally entertaining. Like,
How
I
can
feel
we
you.
forget though? Because we watched Under Siege 2, where he beat the shit out of a man in the
Dude.
kitchen with his hands.
Under
like,
Siege 2 is
Open
really good.
palm, slap the fuck out of this man.
he's got very quick hands.
He is so quick, so fucking quick.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, not anymore, but he was.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
The only thing he's quick to is like getting that toilet lid up so he can shit.
Yeah, counter grapple. But to be fair, counter grapples are always going to look cooler than just deliberate straight up
Attacks.
kicks.
Yeah.
Counter grapple. Is that where he would like?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
he lets you run at him, and then he like grabs
You
your arm
make
and
the first
snaps it.
move,
Yeah, he
and
wants
wherever
the
your
person to
hand
make the
placement
first move,
is,
and
he
he just-
counters.
Yeah, I've
He's
never
just
seen
so
like an
fast.
action star doing that before
Yeah.
Seagal.
He's
So,
fast,
pretty
man.
cool.
Oh yeah, he's
fast.
still a very talented martial artist.
Yeah.
yeah. But as you were saying,
Yeah, did you have
Sorry,
anything else?
interrupted
We
you.
cut you off.
No, I mean it did drag, but there was parts of Hard Target that dragged too. Like
Yeah.
like when he's riding the horse with the shotgun, I'm just sitting here like,
And the helicopter somehow
Dude,
found
I
him.
know. I hated that. That was boring.
In the fucking swamps of Louisiana.
yeah.
Okay, what did I say
I'm
during
just
the?
gonna stand. Cause
You're good. During the filming, it was like, okay, a person lost in the swamps, wanting to be found, a helicopter could not find. This helicopter seems to just find Van Damme on a horse with a shotgun. It's like, how did you fucking do you know how the swamps work? Like, they're just endless marsh of no paths.
Why did they split
It's
up
just
in the first
nothing.
place?
Yeah.
Just so Wilford Brimley, which is his uncle, and then our protagonist, we don't know her name, but
Diabetes.
his counterpart is Diabetes. so we got the dynamic duo, Wilford Brimley and Diabetes, and then we also have the female actress. So there's a trio. No, but they've gone in a different direction. He's leading all the bad guys away from them, so they can get away safe.
But all the bad guys show up to this
Yeah,
place
I don't fucking
anyways,
know.
and Wilford Brimley fires
Yeah.
on them. Like
Yeah.
they stay.
Yeah. I think I have no fucking idea, man. I have no idea.
All right.
But nonetheless.
Yeah, anyways, while Seagal's did drag when he was trying to be like, look at me,
Detective.
I'm a smart detective, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not Bruce fucking Wayne.
The overall fight scenes were a little more entertaining.
Yeah.
Like
The
I like
choreography was amazing.
Yeah, I love the choreography. I like the gun battles. Honestly, I enjoyed both movies a lot.
Yeah, it's really
Me too.
hard as
like
a
yeah,
toss-up.
I could have easily gone with Hard Target with my
Yeah.
choice there.
Okay.
What do you think, James?
Are you guys ready for me?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Out for Justice. So it's 3 hits.
Unanimous
You had me
decision.
there.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like-
I mean honestly, when we finished the second one, I was like, Jesus Christ, which one am I gonna pick?
No,
and
yeah.
what are the guys gonna pick? Because these were both
It's a
both.
toss-up,
They
yeah.
they
Yeah.
really were. I mean, it's flip a coin.
Yeah,
If,
if you like,
like-
if you like action films,
Yeah,
I'd
people
recommend
listening
both of
in,
them.
if you want to watch either
For
one of
real,
these
yeah.
movies, just flip a coin. Just flip a coin, heads, tails, whatever it is. Just watch that movie. Like,
Yeah.
they're very entertaining.
Yeah, flip a coin. You can get I mean, just watch out for Justice. Don't flip a coin.
Yeah, just watch out for
It's,
Justice.
It's better.
Well, here's why I like
Yeah.
it. I thought we had more fun watching it. William Forsythe was a better villain. Not saying that Lance Henriksen as a villain was terrible in Hard Target. Just William Forsythe just was all around better villain.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Steven Seagal was more laughable.
He was
bad.
We were impersonating him. We were making up our own lines. We were doing scenes that weren't even in the movie. We were just impersonating Seagal. We were talking about his whole fucking life of him being an asshole. When we were talking about Van Damme, we were just like the mullet. And the
Yeah.
mullet was funny, but he wears it so well.
Yeah.
It's funny. And it's hard to laugh at Van Damme when he's being directed by John Woo. Like,
Yeah.
it had a better director. So, like,
Yeah,
to me,
that's
Out
true,
for
huh?
Justice had that just primal, we're going to shoot an action movie like fucking Messenger of Death. Or not Messenger, never
Messenger
mind.
of Death.
Sorry. What's the other one that I'm thinking of?
Death Wish.
Death-
Wish. Like, there's going to be guns. There's going to be people getting fucking murdered. There's going to be titties. Like, there's all sorts of stuff. We're going all to the wall. You know what I mean? It's an action
None of
movie.
us
Yeah.
can do a Jean-Claude
It's a guy movie.
accent.
Jean-Claude
Yeah.
is
I
a
don't know how
very
to do
unique
it.
accent.
Yeah,
it's
it's
something
really
I feel
weird.
like you have to practice, and
For
trying
real,
to just improv that accent is
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah. So, yeah, mine is Out for Justice.
I'm surprised. I thought John was gonna pick Hard Target.
I did too. I genuinely thought you were.
But,
You surprised me as well.
See, so far we've all been unanimous with most of the movies.
There was one movie I picked opposite of y'all, and y'all were like giving me shit for it.
What was it?
I
I
cannot
can't
remember.
anymore. Yeah.
We've watched
Yeah.
we've watched 26 movies now. The last
No
13
shit.
As far as
weeks.
since
This will
we've
be
been
episode
podcasting,
13. Yeah.
yeah.
No shit.
And
We
wow.
started
remember
before that. Yeah.
we started before that, and we started watching 3 movies. Like, we've been
Yeah.
doing this pre-Christmas.
Yeah.
So
That's
we've been
true.
doing this a fat minute.
Yeah.
Dove
That's the Doge.
Dove
That's the
is
Doge.
arguing with our producer Rachel.
She's-
Apparently,
Dove is getting.
Yeah, she's not
getting
get-
excited.
yeah, she's not getting the health benefits she thought she was getting when she signed up for the production. But that's neither here nor there.
Wait,
Let's
she
just-
gets health benefits?
Moving on. So we talked about how fast Steven Seagal is, and I think we should wrap this up with this because it's a really funny story. So Steven Seagal is incredibly fast with his martial arts, but he's also an asshole, and Jean-Claude Van Damme does not like him.
Yes, they do
Yeah,
not
they
like
John,
each other
take it away.
at
other.
John,
all.
take it away.
Okay, Steven Seagal is known to make up a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's also known to talk shit about a lot of his contemporaries.
Yes, and?
So he would go on actively on interviews and be like, "Yeah, I don't think Van Damme's that good of a martial artist." And he'd say like that about Chuck Norris too and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So one day, Steven Seagal is at a party in Hollywood, and at some swanky house, some big mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and Van Damme shows up at the front of the mansion, and he's like, "Where's Seagal?" So he comes out front and he's like, "Hey, meet me out here. What's up?"
Yeah, I'm gonna
Fight
kick
me.
the
I'm gonna
shit
kick your
out of
fucking
you. I'm gonna
ass.
kick you in your
I'm
fat
going to kick your
face.
ass. Yeah. And Seagal is like, "I don't got time for you. I'm going to go to this club. I got a club thing to do." So he goes to the club, and outside of the club is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Steven Seagal curved him both times, didn't fight, which already that gives Van Damme the upper hand. But yeah, it's a funny little anecdote that shows like just how much they did not like each other.
That's funny too.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect segue to another funny moment involving Steven Seagal.
Oh, is this
where-
the one where he
this is-
challenges? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say
He
this
was
one. too.
known to be an asshole to stuntmen on the sets.
Why would you do that? I'm
'Cause he
sorry
was-
to derail us there for a second.
'cause-
Why would you be Why would you be an ass to the people that are there to
'Cause
make
he's
you
just
look
an a-
good
'cause he's just
when
an
it's
asshole.
not you?
Yeah,
He's just an asshole.
Deep down.
He was like,
I mean,
yeah, he's
not
just
deep down. He's
yeah,
just a fucking
he's just an
asshole.
asshole through and through. So he was boasting about how he can break any sort of chokehold. So Gene LaBelle, who is a judo master, like one of the best at judo in the world ever, takes him up on that challenge. He
It's not that good.
He chokes Seagal out, and Seagal ends up shitting his pants.
You didn't tell us that
I
earlier.
didn't know this detail till I looked it up again.
He shit himself.
My God.
He shit himself.
You shit him fucking. Oh my God. Steven shit himself. Seagal shit himself?
Yes.
Question mark?
That's great.
That's
I didn't know he
fucking
shat
hilarious.
himself. How fucking embarrassing.
Okay.
Jesus.
God.
Well, that was hilarious.
I had no idea. I knew that we had talked about the choke out because I had mentioned to you guys where somebody took him up on his challenge and it did not go well. So I'm glad that you looked it up during the movie, but I'm also glad that you looked it up again so that I can know that Steven Seagal shit himself when a stunt player, somebody beneath him, choked him the fuck out.
Yup.
He choked him till he shit his pants. That should be on his Wikipedia. Like, not Steven Seagal,
Phrased like
the
that.
other guy.
Gene LaBelle?
I choked
it
Steven Seagal
probably
till he
is.
shit his pants. Okay.
Cool,
Well, that
y'all.
being said, guys, Josh, John, Rachel, my angel, Dove, my heart. I love you both. Thank you guys all for being here for Shit Show Showdown this week. This is a treat every time we do it. I also just want to quickly shout out my sister, who is now part of the community, so she checks up on our updates and all that bullshit. And then we also had, is it Sophie? Right, Josh? You said?
Sophie Wayne.
Yeah, we just got a new subscriber earlier, so that's really great. Thank you
Nice.
so much. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Shouts
that.
out. Thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate
So,
it.
yeah,
Hope you're doing good. Friend
yeah.
of a friend.
Friend
She's
of a friend of a
to
friend.
James.
The rock and roll,
Yeah,
dude.
she's
We need
really
to have
cool.
James back on here. Why does it? James, come to the fucking podcast. Come to the
Get
shit
your
show,
ass
dude.
down here,
Even if you
Jim
just want to
Jam.
watch the movies or something. But nonetheless, I just wanted to say that I love you, dude, and I love you guys. I love everybody that supports us, part of the community and part of the Alien Arts School. The faculty. We're the faculty. And then
The
we've got our
faculty.
students, right? The student of Alien Arts School. So, yeah, guys, be sure and tune in every Thursday where we talk about, here on Cinema Shat, we talk about Shit Show Showdown, the shit show that is our lives, and then anything regarding film. This week, yeah, Duff, what do you want to say?
She's thanking everybody. That's so nice.
Oh, what an angel. What an angel.
So cute.
Had they started playing the Academy music, I would have been angry. You know, like when somebody goes to accept an award and it's like, we're remembering so-and-so. It's like, don't get me off this fucking stage. Anyways, be sure and hit us up here on YouTube. That's at Alien Art School. Everything is consistent across the board. That's at Alien Art School for YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. What else?
Reddit,
Farmer's Meat.
Instagram.
What else?
Cropcirclesarreal.com.
Crop
Yeah.
circle.
My
Yeah, I
new
knew
website.
we were forgetting one. I knew we were forgetting one.
We also engrave these podcasts, transcribe them onto stones every week.
That is
and
true.
We
I've-
distribute them around the community. They
I have
to
a
share
lot of
them
bank
now.
loans now.
Yeah, me
I
too.
bought a lot of stones and chisels.
lot of stones and chisels.
Okay, well, nonetheless, guys, it's been great. This is Cinema Chat. I'm James,
I'm John.
And I'm Jash.
and we'll see you again next week. Bye,
Later.
fuckers.